Hello friends, today we are going to discuss one of the most important topic that's frequently asked into the examination. So the name of the topic is dice. In order to understand dice, there are two things. The first one is the closed dice and the second one is the open dice. In the closed dice, there are two types. The first one is two similar faces and the second one is one similar face. Let me give you an example. 1, 2, 3, 1, 5, 2. 1 is here and 1 is here. 2 is here and 2 is here. So that means 1 and 2 are the two similar faces. So what is the remaining face? 3 and the 5 are the remaining faces. So 3 and the 5 are opposite to each other. So 3 and the 5 are opposite to each other. So the question will come like this: what is the opposite face of 3, or what is the opposite face of 5? So the question will be like this. So the second type is one similar face. 1, 2, 3, and 1, 5, 6. Here 1 is here and 1 is here. So there is only one similar face. That means this 1 and the 1 is the only similar face. So here we need to understand that clockwise direction, we need to see the clockwise or the anti-clockwise direction, whichever is convenient for you, you can see it. So let's see the clockwise direction. In the first dice, there are two dice, first and the second. The similar face is 1. Put the similar face here. Correspondingly, 1 is the similar face. So after 1, what's here? 3. After 1, what's here? 3. So let me write here 3. And in the second dice, after 1, it's 5. So I will write 5 here. And after 3, it's 2. So after 3, 2 is here. And after 5, 6 is here. So and after 5, 6 is here. So what is the opposite face of 5? The opposite face of 5 is 3. And the opposite face of 2 is 6. So 3 and the 5 are opposite to each other. And similarly, 2 and the 6 are opposite to each other. So these are the two cases of the closed dice. First, let's solve some questions about this closed dice, and after that, we'll move on to the open dice. Let's move on to the questions one by one. The first question says that 6 letters Q, Z, V, T, L, and A are written on different faces of a dice. Two positions of this dice are shown in the figure below. Find the letters on the face opposite to Q. So here, V is here, V is here, V, V. So that means one similar face. What we have just discussed is that for one similar face, we need to see the clockwise direction. We need to see the clockwise direction. Let's see here. Let me write here VV. The first one, V. And after V, it's Z. And after B, Z is written here. Clockwise direction. So after B, L is here. So in the second dice, after B, L is here. Similarly, after Z, it's Q. So let me write Q here. So after L, it's T. So after L, let me write T. So I've already told you guys that Z and L are opposite to each other, and Q and the T are opposite to each other. So what's the question? Let's do it. Find the letters on the face opposite to Q. What is the opposite of Q? It's obviously T. So the answer is T. I hope you get this point. Let's move on to the next question. Six numbers 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, and 26 are written on different faces of a dice. Three positions of this dice are shown in the figure. Find the number on the face opposite to 24. 24 is here on the third dice, so we can pick here. Let's pick these two dice. Let's pick these two dice. You can pick any two dice convenient to the question. So 24 is in the third dice, so you need to pick a dice which contains 24. Here 25 is here, 25 is here, 22 is here, 22 is here. That means two similar faces. Two similar faces. So it's too easy. In case of the two similar faces, the remaining are the opposite to each other. So 21 and the 24 are remaining. So that means 21 and the 24 are opposite to each other. So the opposite of 24 is 21. So the answer is 21. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Six letters U, V, W, X, Y, and Z are written on different faces of a dice. Two positions of this dice are shown in the figure below. Find the letters on the face opposite to Z. Okay, Z is here. W is here. W is here. So, one similar face. One similar face. Let me repeat once again. For one similar face, what's the strategy? The strategy is see the clockwise direction. See the clockwise direction. So let me write here. Write W. W here. After W, it's U. After W, it's U. U written here. In the second dice, after W in the clockwise direction, it's V. Let me write V here. And again, after U, it's Y. After U, let me write Y here. And after V, it's Z. So after V, let me write Z here. So the question says that find the letters on the face opposite to Z. Opposite to Z, obviously, Y is the answer. Y and the Z are opposite to each other. So the answer is Y. Let's move on to the questions one by one. Six words eat, cry, play, sleep, run, and bat are written on different faces of a dice. Three positions of this dice are shown in the figure. Find the word on the face opposite to it. Okay, we can see that it is written in the first and the second dice. So we can pick any dice. We can pick any dice. Let's pick this two. Play is here. Play is here. Sleep is here. Sleep is here. So we can solve this without any pen and paper. With practice, you will get it. What's the remaining? What's the remaining? It and the run are remaining. So it and the run are opposite to each other. What would be the answer? The answer is run. I already told you guys that by practice, you can solve in 4 to 5 seconds. Just it's the question of practice only. Let's move on to the next question. Two different positions of the same dice with faces T, O, V, L, Y, and V are shown below. Select the letters that will be on the face opposite to the one having L. What I just told you, for the closed dice, we need to see whether it's the cases of the two similar dice or the one similar dice. Here, Y is here, Y is here. So let me write here one similar face. one similar face, the technique is clockwise. We need to see the clockwise direction. Let me change the color. First right here, Y right here, Y right here. Change the color. After Y it's T, so write T here. After Y it's B, so write B here. After T, O is here. O is here. After B, L is here. Write L is. So see the questions. The question says what is the opposite face of L? The opposite face of L is O, obviously. So O is the answer. I hope you get this point. Let's see a few more questions. 6 symbols, a percentage and a question mark plus dollar and at the rate are written on different faces of a dice. Two positions of this dice are shown in the figure below. Find the symbol on the face opposite to the one having at the rate. N is here, N is here. So one similar face. For one similar face, what I just said is that N is here, N is here. And after N, it's percentage. So write percentage here. And after N, in the second dice, plus is here. Write plus. After percentage is question mark. So write question mark here. And after plus, it's at the rate. Write at the rate. So the question again says, what is the opposite of at the rate? The opposite of at the rate is question mark. Question mark. Let's move on to the next question. The next question says 6 words hand, leg, eyes, nose, mouth, and ear are written on different faces of a dice. 3 positions of this dice are shown in the figure. Find the word on the face opposite to hand. As usual, let's pick this 2. Nose is here, nose is here. Leg is here, leg is here. That means 2 similar faces. For 2 similar faces, what we just learned is that the remaining are opposite to each other. Mouth and the hand. What's the remaining? The remaining is mouth and hand. Mouth and the hand are opposite to each other. So the opposite of hand is mouth. So we can solve the question without pen and paper. With practice, you can solve it very easily. Let's move on to the next question. 6 letters A, B, C, D, E, and F are written on different faces of a dice. 3 positions of this dice are shown in the figure. Find the letters on the face opposite to A. Okay, let's pick this 2 as usual. B is here, B is here. C is here, C is here. That means 2 similar faces. What's the remaining? The remaining is A and the E. A and the E will be opposite to each other. A and the E will be opposite to each other. So the opposite of A would be E. Very easy question. Okay, we have done the closed dice. Let me just revise it. Dice. The first one is closed dice. And the second one is open dice. We have not yet discussed this open dice. For closed dice, there are 2 types. The first one is 2 similar faces. And the second one is 1 similar face. For 2 similar face, the remaining are the opposite ones. And for 1 similar face, the technique is we need to see the clockwise direction and write like this. And let's see this open dice. For open dice, Only few questions are asked. The questions can be asked like this. Let me give you two examples, the first one and the second one. Example number one is 1 2 3 4 5 6. Here 1 and the 3 are opposite to each other. 1 and the 3 are opposite to each other because 2 is here in the middle, and 2 and the 4 2 and the 4 are opposite to each other because 3 is in the middle, and the remaining 5 and the 6 are opposite to each other. So you can write like this: 1 and the 3 are opposite to each other, 2 and the 4 are opposite to each other, and the remaining 5 and the 6 are opposite to each other. Let me give you one more example. 1 2 3 4 5 6. In the second example, 1 and the 3 are opposite to each other because 2 is in the middle. 4 and the 6 are opposite to each other because 5 is in the middle. So we can write like this: 1 and the 3 are opposite to each other, 4 and the 6 are opposite to each other, and what's the remaining? The remaining is 2 and the 5. 2 and the 5 are opposite to each other. So we can solve most of the question by using these techniques. Let's move on to the next question. A cube is made by folding the given set in the cube shape form. What would be the number on the opposite side of 1? Here, the opposite of 3 is 6, the opposite of 5 is 4, and the remaining 1 and the 2 are opposite to each other. So the opposite of 1 is 2. I hope you get this point. You can also write like this: 3 opposite 6, 5 opposite 4, 1 opposite 2. Here the question is 1, so 2. The question may change. What's the opposite face of 3? You can write 6. What's the opposite face of 5? You can write 4. Let's move on to the next question. The next question says that a cube is made by folding the given set in the cube so formed. Which of the following pairs will be opposite to each other? Here 1 and the 2 are opposite to each other. Let's write like this. And 6 and the 5 are opposite to each other. So the remaining is 3 and the 4 are opposite to each other. Let me change the color, otherwise you will get confused. Here 1 and the 2 are opposite, and 6 and the 5 are opposite, and 4 and the 3 are opposite. So the question says 1 and the 6. No, the opposite face of 1 is 2, so 1 is not correct. 4 and the 5, it's not correct because the opposite face of 4 is 3. 3 and 4, yes, 3 and 4 is here. So 3 and 4 is the correct answer. 6 and 3 is not correct because the opposite face of 6 is 5. So the correct answer is C, 3 and 4. So I hope you guys get this point. You need to practice some question and you'll get it very easily. So let's meet in the next session. Okay, thank you all.